I was 19 and had just moved into my first apartment alone. It wasn't in a bad neighborhood, but the complex was older and the locks were rather flimsy. I work a night shift, so I would get home at 11 normally. I opened the door into my apartment, and as soon as I stepped in, my gut was telling me something was off. And before you know it, I heard a thud come from my room. I crept around the corner to see that my bathroom light was on. I always turned it off before leaving. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, which was a baseball bat, and crept down the hallway. When I got to the bathroom, I noticed the mirror was fogged up, like someone had just showered. My heart dropped. I slowly backed up, and that's when I saw it. In the reflection, behind me, a man's shoulder, moving just barely out of view down the hallway. I bolted outside and called the police from my car. They came within minutes and found the man still inside, hiding in my closet. He had been living in the crawl space above my ceiling for who knows how long. All I could think about later was how many nights I might have been asleep while he climbed down to do God knows what. When I was a kid, my mom used to complain that the back door never shut tight. You had to lift the handle a certain way for it to click. My dad always said he'd fix it, but he never did. This happened on a Saturday night, so you best believe I was up playing my games. It was so late I started to fall asleep in my chair, when out of nowhere, I woke up to the sound of our dog growling at nothing. The kind of rumble that sounds like it's coming from deep inside their chest. I got curious, so I peeked out of my room, walked slowly to the stairs that head downstairs. I got halfway when I saw the back door cracked open, swinging slightly. The dog stood frozen, staring into the darkness. Then, I heard footsteps. Their feet moving toward me. I remember screaming at the tops of my lungs for my dad and mom. They both quickly ran out their room and into the kitchen to find just me and the dog. Whoever it was ran. The police came and found muddy footprints leading through the kitchen and into our hallway. They told us the intruder got in because the back door was not fully shut tight. And in that moment, my mom had a "I told you so" face towards my dad. They never caught the person, but a few days later, a neighbor told us they found their shed broken into, and inside was a sleeping bag, food wrappers, and a Polaroid camera with photos of houses in our block, including ours. My wife and I had just moved into a new house with our baby daughter. Everything seemed fine for the first week, until we started hearing weird noises through the baby monitor. At first, we thought it was interference. Then one night, around 2 a.m., my wife woke up to what sounded as whispering coming from the baby monitor. She took her phone and checked the live feed, only to see nothing, just blackness. She quickly rose up from the bed and woke me up. This is when both our hearts completely sunk as we heard a man's voice whispering through the monitor. "Shh, you'll wake her up." I quickly ran to my baby daughter's room, only to see her asleep and untouched. But the window was wide open, and the monitor camera had been unplugged and turned toward the wall. We called the police, and when we reviewed the footage from the security camera outside, we saw a tall man walking up to the window of my daughter multiple nights that week, each time staying a little longer. He was finally caught after breaking into another home 2 streets over. He had been using cheap Wi-Fi scanners to hack into baby monitors in the area and scare the living life out of parents.